What animal are we caging today? Monkeys? Zebras? Tigers? No. Elephants. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we're discussing the newest album from Cage the Elephant. This one is entitled Social Cues. Cage the Elephant are an American indie alternative rock band from Kentucky. Social Cues is their fifth studio album. This is a very personal record. It's their first one since 2015. It might feel like it's been a long time since we've gotten a new Cage the Elephant album, but for the lead singer Matt Schultz, I bet it feels like an eternity. Since 2015, the lead singer Matt Schultz has been dealing with quite a lot. It's been a very hard time for him. He's gone through a divorce with his wife of 7 years. He's also had to deal with the death of his close personal friends, one being his cousin, and this is due to suicide. So it's pretty hard to imagine what is running through his mind at this point. So a lot of the lyrics on this album are going to be about adversity. They're going to be about loss. They're going to be about grief. They're going to be about running and hiding. Sonically, however, Cage the Elephant have been no stranger to dipping their toes into a bunch of different kind of subgenres of rock. Social Cues is no exception to that, as we find them hopping and crossing between genres. They bring back some of the psychedelic elements that they had on their 2015 record, Tell Me I'm Pretty. Some garage rock is thrown on the second single on here, House of Glass. Blues is also on here on the songs The War Is Over and Ready to Let Go. There's some reggae rap on Night Running. That one's featuring Beck. And then we get a couple songs that don't really feel like they're tied to any one genre, and they come in the form as ballads, very solemn too. And I have to say, one of the saddest songs this year is on this record. It's called Goodbye. Overall, Social Cues comes at a very pivotal moment for Cage the Elephant. We see them expanding upon their wide array of influences, but not only that, they are including more instrumentation here as they now have 6 members in the band. Diving into the track list, the first song on this project is called Broken Boy. It's very jangly and abrasive in the guitar. We get some groovy bass, we get some yelping and shrieking vocals, and it feels like a song that is very chaotic, yet it's controlled. Definitely one of my favorites, and it just gets the ball moving. The second track on here is the title track. We get some pitch shifted and distorted keys that sound like the intro to Ashes by David Bowie. The drum performance is pretty basic and repetitive. The groovy bass line is here yet again. On here with the vocal delivery, I feel like it's odd, and it kind of reminds me of something off of MGMT's second or third albums. Lyrically, I feel like the title track stands out compared to the rest of the songs. Instead of going for like this loss or grief or sorrow ridden kind of song, it goes for something that's more focused on the limelight and success. Matt Schultz is basically told that he's doing great things and he's going to have great potential, but you can tell that Matt doesn't really know what he's wanting out of this, and when he voices that kind of frustration or complaint, he's told, well, at least you're on the radio. Moving on from there, Black Madonna is a song that starts off with some taped drums that kind of speed up right at the beginning of the track. The interesting thing about this song is that it's got like this retro or vintage feel to it. It sounds like it could have been released in the 60s or 70s as like this glam or alt rock kind of song. Compared to the previous track, Black Madonna is also very homogeneous. I feel like in the drumming we get the same kind of pattern, which makes me kind of lose my interest. It really just does feel a little indistinguishable compared to Social Cues. It's like it's lacking a bit of inspiration. What it does lack in inspiration, though, I feel like it makes up for with the catchy sing-along kind of chorus. And that's definitely found on the next song, Night Running, as well. This one features Beck. On here, we see some reggae rap kind of tones infused on this song. And I wouldn't think this, but Matt and Beck's vocals complement each other very well. They just got like this nice dynamic, nice chemistry to them. There's an interesting story of how Beck was kind of brought onto this track. So Cage the Elephant were working on the song, and they were just trying to figure out how to write the verse, and then they we're working already with Beck's father, who does a lot of the string compositions on here. So then they were thinking, okay, let's reach out to Beck and see what he can do with the verse. And quickly they got a response from Beck, who was on tour at this point, yet he still managed to put some time aside just to write part of the song. It's a well-produced track as well. I think John Hill is on here. We get some heavily echoed guitar, which is pretty entertaining, and the touches of horns are dazzling and pretty engrossing. The lead single, Ready to Let Go, I've already talked about this in a track review, so if you want to hear more of my in-detail thoughts about that, be sure to check out that video. But I will say again here that it's a great standard rock kind of song. Very personal, and if you really want to see some gory kind of imagery, I would highly recommend checking out the music video for it too. The second single is also following up the lead single on this project. It's called House of Glass. It's definitely one of my favorites. It's got like this gritty, urgent, kind of intense feeling. I really appreciate the vocal mixing on here. It's quite claustrophobic, and then we get Matt, who is using quite provoking language, especially in the verses. He's using short, very punchy words with hard consonants. Just comes off as very sharp and biting, and it just really kind of seals this track nicely. Then we move on to the song Love's the Only Way, and this one's got a gorgeous string arrangement at the beginning of it. It's so entrancing. It's just a song that will like wrap you within its grip, and it will just like warm you like a nice blanket. On here, what also drives home the heartfelt sentiment of the track is definitely the arpeggiated guitars that are pretty dreamy and soothing. We get some more interesting vocal mixing on here on the track The War Is Over. This one has a similar kind of quality to the song Skin and Bones on here. We get some panoramic spacing in the vocals. It's lyrically interesting as well, musically groovy and hypnotic, just not as catchy melodically speaking. Then this album kind of hits a bit of a lull for me. The next three songs, Dance Dance, What I'm Becoming, and Tokyo Smoke, these ones are definitely not as good compared to the rest of the songs in my opinion. They kind of just feel like these deep cuts that just don't have as much weight to them. On the song Dance Dance, there's like this overblown kind of audio on the verse vocals, which is a little ear-piercing. I do like how Matt is trying to switch things up and go for a different kind of vocal spacing here. I just feel like it comes off a little too harsh to the ears. Also on Dance Dance, and as well as Tokyo Smoke, we get some reversed guitar solos. Kind of just makes me think of like the Revolver era of the Beatles. They were known for using like these loops and reverse guitar kind of solos that would just pan very widely in the spacing. It's a nice touch on social cues, but I just feel like it's a little less memorable than what it could have been. Then on the other song that I just don't feel like it has as much weight or punch to it is What I'm Becoming. This one's got like some warbling synths. It's got this definite psychedelic rock vibe to it. It's got like this desolate string arrangement too. But yeah, these three tracks together, in my opinion, they just don't really have me coming back wanting to listen to them more. This is quite a shame because I just feel like this album being 13 tracks long, a lot of Cage the Elephant's previous albums have been around 10. I feel like they could have easily gotten rid of these three and would have gotten away with a more concise 10-track album. But what this project does lack in those three songs, it makes up very strongly in the closing track, Goodbye. Man, this thing is just going to be one of the saddest songs of the year. We get this mellotron on here, we get some warm tones from the strings that just make this track so emotionally gut-wrenching. The lyrics will just make you want to rip your heart out, and you feel so bad for Matt Schultz and what he's going through with his divorce. The one lyric that has me choking up every time I hear it is when Matt's singing about his lullaby, his songbird, and now how he's become the thorn in her side. But yeah, let's talk about positives on this record now. It's kind of a sad way to end this review when I'm talking about a very sad song. Let's stay positive here. I feel like this album is the best produced one that Cage the Elephant have put out yet. It's spaciously gorgeous. We get some diversity in the vocal miking, and it's very rich and vibrant in its soundscapes. Another plus, we get great inclusion of the new band members. We get expansive instrumentation that suits the band's versatile style very well. This album is very strong for its singles, melodically sticky, and some of the most emotionally jam-packed this year that I've heard. The last positive I'll talk about here is that it's thematically cohesive. At times I do feel like it does kind of get a little boring and kind of run over the same kind of topics over and over again with the running and hiding. But you can tell that there is a lyrical thread between all of these songs, although I would like to see a few of the songs removed, and that's where I'll start talking about the negatives here. So yeah, the deep cuts I just feel like aren't as enjoyable as some of the ones that I've come to love from Melophobia, even the self-titled record from them, Tell Me I'm Pretty. But yeah, for Cage the Elephant in their discography, I feel like this is a strong entry. I feel like they've had a very consistent kind of projection. I just feel like I still prefer Melophobia and Tell Me I'm Pretty over this album, so I feel like it's a slight downgrade, but I'm feeling a 7 out of 10. But yeah, that's enough of that. So tell me what you think of social cues down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Tell me what I should review next. If there's anything you think I should do to improve my presentation of my videos, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching today's video, and as always, have a rockin' day.